everyone. My name is Allison, and I am the customer education lead here at Help Scout. Now, there are a few things about Help Scout that I want to go over before we dive into the details of the app. In general, Help Scout is a communications tool. Its main feature is a shared email inbox to assist your team in communicating with students, staff, or alumni, all in the same place. But it also allows for you to offer live chat as well as other help tools like an FAQ site if that's something that you need. And with tools like Gmail and Outlook, it is impossible for more than one person at a time to answer emails sent to an address like admissions at or financial aid at youruniversity.edu. And that's where Help Scout comes in. You can have as many members of your team as you need, all working out of the same inbox simultaneously. And there are a lot of other features that will be extremely useful for your team, such as reporting on your incoming email volume and easy visibility into team performance, features that prevent your teammates who answer emails from stepping on each other's toes, and shortcuts to help you get work study students up to speed quickly. One of the education institutions that currently uses Help Scout told us they were able to manage a 44% increase in email volume without adding staff, all because of the tools built into and around Help Scout shared inbox. So with that, let's take a look at the shared inbox here. When you first come into Help Scout, you will land on what we call a dashboard. And this is where you will see an overview of everything that's going on in your account, such as what's coming into your inboxes. And one of the best things about Help Scout is that if you need to manage more than one email address, maybe for things like multiple departments, you can set those up as separate inboxes with their own distinct settings within the same Help Scout account. So I'm going to go into our computer lab inbox here to show you what it's like to work within an inbox at Help Scout. What we're looking at now is the main inbox view. And over here on the left, you'll see some folders. These folders up here are default. They come with every Help Scout account. And then below that are some custom folders that I have created, which we call views. They give you the ability to filter your inbox down based on certain criteria like email subject line, sender, or how long the person has been waiting to hear back from your team. But right now we're in the unassigned folder, and this is the default place that email comes into Help Scout. So this is kind of like your inbox or the first stop for those incoming emails and the queues, so to speak, that your whole team will work through. For example, if someone was to email admissions@university.edu, that email would come right into the unassigned folder. So this is just like any other email inbox that you're already used to. Any email address that you have set up to communicate with people, admissions at, financial aid at, help at, things like that, that is the email that would come into your Help Scout inbox. And as far as how emails appear in these folders, Help Scout has 4 statuses. The first 2 that you see here are active and pending. And active is the default status whenever a new email comes in, and you can recognize them with the bold heading. All the emails you see up top there in bold are active, and pending emails are unbolded, so those emails you see down there at the bottom. And pending is a status that's typically used for when an email is on hold. Like if you're waiting on some other sort of information, either from the student or from your team, you can mark that email as pending to get it out of the way a little bit, but it's still there for you to get back to whenever you're ready. And if you decide you would like to assign specific emails to individual members of your team, those assigned emails for each team member will show up in their own Mine folder. And there is also an assigned folder where you'll see all of the emails that are assigned to anyone on your team. And I have a additional column here for what we call assigned to, which I can use to filter down these emails to a specific person that I might be looking for. So for example, if I want to see all of the active and pending emails assigned to Rashida, I can just use this drop down and select her there, and then I'll see everything that's on her plate. And this is also really great because if you have a member on your team who is out for the day, you can quickly take a look at what's coming in for them and handle that accordingly. Instead of having managers manually assign emails to different team members by trying to move those around in a Gmail or Outlook inbox, you can do that assignment with one click here in Help Scout. And those assignments are visible and are also captured in our reporting section so that managers can keep track of how team members are performing, something that cannot be done in a traditional Gmail or Outlook inbox. And then underneath the assigned folder here, we have the closed folder. And this shows any email, no matter who it has been assigned to, that are closed out. And these are emails you would consider to be resolved and you're not expecting to work on them anymore. And do keep in mind that if someone does reply to an email, it will become active again. So you never have to worry about missing anything when you mark an email as closed. And let's say you're here in your closed folder looking for a past email, maybe because it had a really good answer to a similar question that you want to reference. You can use the search bar to look for it. So to get there, I'll just click on this magnifying glass on the top right-hand side of my screen. And then over here on the left, you'll see a bunch of different filters that allow you to really dig in and help you narrow down your search results. It's really easy to target what you're looking for by words in the body, subject, or even a time frame. So I could do something like this. Let's say I want to see every email in my account that has the word admissions anywhere in that email. I could just search for that there, and you can see those emails come up. And this is super helpful not only for referencing back to previous interactions you may have had with a student or member of the faculty, but it's a great for work study students who may only be around for a semester to get them up to speed quickly. A lot of training can be skipped as long as they know exactly how to quickly find answers to previously asked questions by using that search function. One other big feature we have here in a Help Scout inbox is what we call collision detection, which helps keep everyone on your team from stepping on each other's toes. I went back into our main inbox here, and if someone on your team is viewing or replying to an email, you'll see a little triangle to indicate that right there. Now it'll be yellow if someone is viewing the email, and it will be red if they are replying. So if I see that someone else on my team is already looking at an email or replying to one, I can just skip right over it and move on to the next. And if I happen to go into an email and someone on my team is looking at it or replying to it, I will see their Help Scout profile photo up at the top here. And here you can also see that same red indicator that lets me know that Angela here is currently replying to this email. Okay, I'm going to go into another email here so we can talk about all the great things that we can do and everything that's available to us when replying to emails. And one big thing I want to point out is this previous conversations area over on the right sidebar. And this allows me to look at other times either myself or my teammates have communicated with this person. And it pops up just like an easy to scan window, so I don't have to leave the current email reply that I'm working with. And here I can page through all of the previous interactions that you've had with this person, staff member, student, alumni, things like that. So you'll always have all the context you need to answer their current email that you're working with. Now, when we're ready to reply to this email, you'll just be sending out a regular looking email like the one you would see if it was sent from Outlook or Gmail. And here, when I go to click my reply, that'll bring up our basic editor here. And here you can see I can just easily compose my reply. I can also add CC and BCC if that's something that I need to do as well. And if I open the options menu here from within an email, you'll see that I have options to add a lot of different things. So I can do things like add attachments, emojis, images, even use different text formatting if that's something that I need to do. And another option that we have here is for what we call saved replies. And with these, if I have any common responses to frequently asked questions, I can create them as templates and then just quickly add them in when I'm replying to an email. And this may be really helpful when it comes to things like getting any temporary work study students up to speed, and they can just quickly apply a saved reply to any email they need to answer. Another great benefit of saved replies is consistency, as students and staff won't receive different answers to the same question. Also included in Help Scout is a tool that we call Docs, which allows you to easily build up a knowledge base FAQ site or something of that nature. And once you have articles added to your knowledge base, if that's something that you'd like to do, you can easily share links to those articles when you are replying to an email. So with this, again, you can equip any work study students that you are employing to more easily help someone. So right there from within the email editor, if I wanted to share documentation with someone, I could just search for it really quickly, and then I can just add that right in. We also have a few AI tools within the inbox to help your team work more efficiently as well. So when you're writing out an email reply, you can use what we call AI Assist. All I need to do is just quickly highlight some text here. And you'll notice that very first option, again, is for what we call AI Assist. And with Assist, you can do things like fix spelling and grammar, make it longer, shorter, friendlier, more professional. Or you can even translate this into, I think we're up to about 30 different languages now, if that's something that you need to do. So Assist gives you and your team a quick and easy way to enhance your email replies on demand, so you can make needed adjustments there with just a few clicks. We also have a tool in Help Scout for what we call AI drafts, and that can be used when replying to emails. So with one click of a button, you can use AI to generate a draft reply to the question that you need to answer. And drafts will use all of your previous email replies and articles from your knowledge base as data sources to create a reply. I don't have enough data within the account we're using here to use drafts, but I have an example here that you can see. So I'm gonna let this cycle through here for just a second here. So again, an email comes in, I need to answer it. You'll have this button there that you see that says draft with AI. So when I click on that, it'll take just a few seconds, and then it will start generating a draft reply. Now I can either improve that reply if I want to using the prompt you see below there, or if I'm happy with it, I can click on insert and I can just send that email right away. All right, I'm going to discard this message here so we can chat about another feature that we have here, which we call notes. So I'm going to click on that button there, and you might notice that the notes have a different color coding. They're yellow, and the difference between a note and a reply is that the email recipient is not notified of a note. So they will never, ever be able to see anything that you add here into a note. This is just for your team and is a great way to communicate internally. In fact, if you have a question for someone else on your team, you can @mention them, and they'll get notified that their attention is needed on this email, both inside their Help Scout account, and they'll get that notification sent to their own email address as well. So let's say I need Ned to take a look at this email as it has an issue that he has handled in the past. All I need to do is @mention her, add my note in, and she'll be notified, or he'll be notified, they'll be notified, whoever it is that you @mention there, that I need them to take a look at this specific email. So this will allow your team to communicate with each other without having to start another email thread to do so, or using a chat like Slack or Teams things like that. Your team can completely communicate with each other within Help Scout, and there will always be a searchable record of that as well. And the email recipient, like I said, will not be aware that this side conversation is taking place. All right, I'm going to discard that also. And if we go back up to the options at the top of the email here, one other thing that you can do when you are working with email is use things that we call tags. And there are a couple of tags on this email already. You can see them underneath the subject headline there. And if I go back to my unassigned folder for a moment, you can see tags from this high-level view as well. They kind of look like and work similarly to Gmail's label feature, but you can do a whole lot more with them. And if I go back into my email and I want to add additional tags, I can do that here. And tags are a really great way to keep track of things, such as the type of requests or issues that you're receiving from students or faculty. And we also have reporting on tags, and you can use the search tool to find all emails that have a particular tag. So they're just a nice, handy little tracking tool. I can add any tag that I would want to right there to my email very quickly and easily. Next to that, this little lightning bolt here is for what we call a manual workflow. And these help me group a bunch of actions together to run on my command. Something like a nice little easy button. If we take a look at this one here, in this case, my workflow is set up to send a reply to the sender of the email, change the status of the email, and add a tag all with one click of a button. And these manual workflows are always there for me to run whenever I want. They don't run automatically like automated workflows do, which I'll get into those in just a moment here. But you can run these on a one-off basis from an individual email. So if you find yourself ever answering the same types of questions and doing the same repetitive actions with them, you can handle those with one click instead of, say, 8 to 10 different clicks. And if we head on over into our main inbox settings here, you can also set up what we call automatic workflows, which are a bit more complex, but will save you a ton of time in your day-to-day work. So you can think of them as basic if-then statements. If one thing happens in Help Scout, then this action will automatically take place. And these can be set up in your inbox settings, like I said, by anyone on your team that has access to do so. And the nice thing about inboxes in Help Scout is that they are completely distinct. So you can run several different inboxes in one Help Scout account, like one for admissions, and then a separate inbox for, say, something like alumni outreach. And since every inbox is distinct, they have their own settings for things like saved replies and workflows. So you never have to worry about different work functions crossing over from one inbox to the other and getting in your way, or for work study students accessing an inbox that they don't need to, because each inbox has their own permissions along with their own unique settings here. And here in our workflows, you can see there's almost an infinite number of ways that they can be used. You can tag incoming emails based on the text of the body of that email. You can auto-assign emails from students to specific team members, even move emails from one inbox to another if you need to do that automatically. So again, any busy work you're doing day to day, a workflow can most likely help eliminate that from your life so you can spend that time answering emails instead of doing all that busy work. And like I mentioned earlier, Docs is our knowledge-based tool. And this allows you to quickly and easily build out any sort of FAQ site you might need. Now, all you have to do is write articles and publish them, and Help Scout will generate a full knowledge-based site for you, just like we're looking at here. And this might be really helpful if you find yourself without a way to create an FAQ site within the confines of your school's current website structure, or if you'd like to explore more self-service avenues for your students or faculty to use. And these articles that you see here can be searched via the web. So it's a great way to allow those students, faculty, or alumni to find an answer to their question themselves before they ever reach out to you. And we hope that with this, you can cut down on incoming email requests. And it's also a great way to get work study employees up to speed quickly, since those frequently asked questions will have already been answered within the knowledge base. And working within the Help Scout knowledge base is just as simple as writing out an article, like you may remember in the older days if you're familiar with blogging or anything like that. So just a quick and easy editor here. You can come in, you can type anything you want, and then it's as simple as clicking the publish, or here it'll be an update button for those articles. And they will be published right out on your knowledge base. So you can see this here. I've got the cursor in here. I can edit this. I can add articles. I can remove articles if I need to. And all of this I can do myself here in Help Scout. I don't have to wait for, anyone else, IT, any sort of that type of function. I can handle all of that myself from our Help Scout account, and I can publish that right on our doc site. The third and final major function of Help Scout is what we call Beacon. And Beacon is an embeddable widget that can be put on your website. And when it's there, it has four main functions. It's a contact form. You can offer live chat to anyone visiting your website. It can be connected to your doc site to display help articles to people anywhere on your website. And messages, which allows you to proactively message website visitors instead of waiting for them to interact with your Beacon first. And Beacon can even be set up to have people read through your FAQ articles and try to help themselves before they are presented with any contact options to reach out to you. Our goal with this was to help you cut down on your incoming email volume by 30%. And that's from allowing anyone visiting your website to search for the answers they might need before they can reach out via email. And that's something that we call modes here within Beacon. And we've got 3 here for you to choose from. So the first one is self-service. And with this, visitors will not be able to see any contact options until they have viewed at least one article or had an unsuccessful search. Neutral mode puts docs, articles, and contact options side by side so visitors can kind of choose their own adventure. And then the last option here is what we call Ask First. And this prioritizes the email and chat options first and foremost, but visitors can also access and search docs articles with a single click up there at the top of the Beacon. If you pair Beacon's contact form with the inbox feature that we call custom fields, you can have the person filling out the contact form send even more information in with their email. And this will have the person filling out these custom fields here first. So we'd have them select the fields that were most applicable to them. And then once they have done that, then they can get to the contact form there. And that custom field data will be passed along with the rest of their email that they submit in through the Beacon. And workflows can then be used to trigger from those custom fields, so you can more easily sort any incoming emails based on that custom field selection. And you can automatically assign the email to a specific team member, move the email to a different inbox or another department to handle, or automate a response back to that sender just from them filling out that particular custom field on the contact form. And Beacon itself is a small widget run by a tiny piece of JavaScript. So as long as your web team, your IT team has access to the code base of your website, which they should, you should be able to add a Beacon to it in just a matter of minutes to that whole site, or you can even add it to just a handful of pages on a site if you would rather do that. And we even have instructions here. You can send that to your web team, your IT team, whoever manages your university website. The code that they will have is all there. And like I said, they should just be able to get that added in just a minute or two to your university's site. And once the beacon is added to your website, it gives you a great and easy way to help those who might be reaching out to you. So if you just want to use it as a contact form, you can do that. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to use docs articles in it. You definitely don't have to use chat. You can just set it up as a contact form, and it's going to connect, I should say, directly to your Help Scout inbox. And if you want to more proactively interact with anyone visiting your website, or if you want to have a simple alert system for your site to share campus updates without needing any extra technical help, Help Scout's messages feature, which is a part of Beacon, gives you that capability. And there are a lot of ways you can use messages to quickly and easily share information across your institution's ecosystem. So you could do things like share operating hours for public student spaces like computer labs, food halls, gyms, and residence facilities, things like that. So again, this is just a tiny little message that you could pop up out of the beacon on your website if you have any announcements like that that you might need to make. You can even help students fix basic technical issues by providing help guides through a message before they ever have a chance to reach out to you, which creates more email volume for your team. So you can connect a message to an article from your Help Scout knowledge base, and it will open the beacon up right to that article from that message. So all the website visitor would have to do is click on that button there, and it would take them right to the help guide that they would need to help them fix their issue before they ever, have that chance to reach out to you. You can also remind prospective students on any upcoming application deadlines for school or financial aid, and link directly to the place where they can start that process. Another fun thing that you can do with messages is alert alumni and other boosters of upcoming ticket sales for big events. So there's an almost infinite number of ways that you can use messages. As long as you have a beacon installed somewhere on your website, you can set that up without any, any technical help needed. You can do that all on your own. And I'll show you what this looks like from a practical perspective. I have a beacon installed here on my sample knowledge base that I have set up. And I'm just going to refresh the page here, and you'll see this message that will pop up here. So this is what this looks like. This button links out to whatever I want to. In this case, it would link out to, say, an application that you would want someone to fill out. But again, you can use messages like you see here to do just about anything that you might need it to. And this can also easily be closed. So if they want to close that off on your website, they can do that, and folks can still interact with your beacon there, like you see here. Finally, everything that you do in Help Scout is recorded to view that in the reporting section anytime. So all that data is kept and can be seen within reports. And one main feature across all of these reports is this date range that you see here. And you can set this date range to cover any amount of time that you would like to see, anywhere from today to a custom range that you would, want to look through. And this is our demo account, so we don't have a lot of data in it. I'm going to switch this to a bit of a custom time frame here so we can get some data flowing in, and you can see what this might look like. I think this should do it here. So this is the email report. And here you can see how many incoming and outgoing emails that you have, how long it's taking for your team to resolve those emails on average, things like that. So all things email related, you can see that data here. So incoming, outgoing data, how long it's taking your team to work with those emails, that type of thing. We also have what we call the company report. And here you can view individual performance from each team member that is on your team, whether it's an individual semester they're working or, even permanent employees that you have working within your Help Scout account. So every member of your team will be listed out at the bottom of this report. And I can click on any one of my team members' names here to give me a specific performance breakdown for that teammate across all the channels that they interact with in Help Scout. And speaking of all channels, this report measures the overall volume across all of your communication channels in Help Scout. It can tell you how busy you were at certain times of day, which is super useful for staffing. You can also look at your most common tags to identify conversation trends, saved replies to see the most common questions you're answering, what workflows you run the most frequently, and which of your students or staff members reach out to you the most. And we heard from current Help Scout users in the education space that they are using reporting insights from tags to better understand why students are contacting them and use it to update their other resources to make those even stronger for students. So if you notice that there's a particular conversation trend, maybe it's something you might want to create an FAQ article for, or create more saved replies for, any other type of resource that you might need, tags and reporting is really, really helpful for that. So great insights can be had here in the tag section of the All Channels report. So that is an overview of Help Scout, an all-in-one tool to help your team communicate with students, staff, and alumni as easy as possible.